Hi, my name's Isaac, and this is a brand new Chevy Colorado Bison ZR2, and today I'm gonna review it for you guys. You know, I would love to know where they come up with the names for all these off-road trims. All right, everybody, it is time to name the new off-road trim of our pickup truck. So, you all know what that means. I'm gonna cover my eyes, stick my hand in this bowl, and pick out a random assortment of letters and numbers. All right, I got a Z, an R, and a 2. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if that's actually how they do it. Before we begin, I want to thank Brown Daub Chevy for allowing me to review this vehicle. For all your Chevy needs, you can visit Brown Daub right off of Nazareth Pike in Nazareth, Pennsylvania, or at their website, browndaubchevy.com. Starting out up front on the Bison ZR2, this is a collaboration between Chevy and American Expedition Vehicles. Chevy will send out their ZR2 Colorado models to AEV, and they soup them up and give them even more off-road prowess than the ZR2 already has. So this is a fairly limited run truck. Originally, up top, I was gonna make a joke like, Bison, was Yak not available? And then I realized that the Bison is AEV's logo. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. Anyway, starting here with the headlights, you'll have standard halogen low and high beams, and then incandescent turn signals here, as well as halogen fog lights. A little disappointing to see that Chevy hasn't upgraded these to LEDs. I've mentioned this in the past when I've reviewed other Colorados, because a lot of the competition has moved to LED headlights. But I suppose Chevy thinks, well, hey, if it isn't broke, no need to fix it. And then moving to the lower front fascia, the AEV mods extend way past just this front license plate cover. This is a really serious front bumper, and then you'll have red tow hooks down here and a massive skid plate. Moving to the hood on the ZR2, unfortunately this front hood garnish is non-functional, but it does look cool. And then moving underneath the hood, this is powered by a 3.6 liter V6 with direct injection, making 308 horsepower and 275 pound-feet of torque. And that is paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Moving to the profile of the Bison ZR2, starting here with the wheels and tires, you'll have these absolutely massive Goodyear 265 65R tires around these 17-inch AEV wheels with their logo printed in the middle there. That looks really aggressive. You're also going to get these nice fender flares on this trim and your Colorado badge right there. On your mirror cap, it is body colored, which is always nice to see, and there is a little blind spot mirror in there as well. And then down here, you have these really nice rock rails that are protecting your rocker panels. And then if we continue down here, you'll have your gas cap, and then these really unique AEV installed bumpers, like the bars. It's so cool. I really think it makes this truck look particularly aggressive. Then you'll have your Chevrolet emblem in there, embossed in with black lettering filling that, and then Colorado again, and then you'll have an AEV badge right there. And then you have rear hook clamps, which I think is really cool. So if you need to pull anybody out, you can do that. And then you'll have your tow hitch down here. Now, as far as I could find, I believe this only has a max towing capacity of 5,000 pounds on this particular trim. I could be wrong. I'll throw that up on screen right now if I am. But I believe because of all the other off-roading stuff, this one doesn't have the maximum towing capacity of other Colorados. And then if we move up here, you'll have your backup camera incorporated into the tailgate, and this is dampened. Love to see a dampened tailgate. And then you'll have a spray-in, oh, there we go, focus. We'll have a spray-in bed liner with some tow hooks, and then it does say ZR2 at the back right there. Before we move to the interior, I just wanted to touch on the key fob very quick. I actually really like Chevy's big, bulky key fobs. In addition to lock, unlock, and panic, you're also going to have the ability to remote start the ZR2. One downside is this does not have push button start. You still need a standard key on this. Hopefully for the 2023 model year, they will remedy this. Moving to the interior, you'll have a ZR2 badge right down here on the floor panel. Then you'll have AEV floor mats, and AEV is embossed in these really nice leather seats, which are partially power. You'll have back, forth, up, down, and then lumbar support. But the backrest adjustment, that is a manual adjustment still on these seats. But getting up inside here, there is no driver's side grab handle, which is unfortunate, so you'll have to use the steering wheel. But this doesn't have massive ground clearance. It's about 10 inches, so it's fairly easy to get inside. And then moving here to the steering wheel, it is leather wrapped with really nice stitching. I really like that. And then you'll have your cruise control settings right here. You do get a heated steering wheel, and then you'll have your Bluetooth, and then the buttons right in here for your little screen. I've gone over a couple of Colorados in my time, so this basically I'm just going to give you a quick run through. It is really cool. You do get your tilt and telescoping right here, so what your angle of departure and stuff is, so that's really nice. What drive mode you're in, your oil pressure, and then your tire pressure, which is always really nice to see on a vehicle. Especially an off-road one, if you're like deflating the tires and you want to know what your PSI is at, that's really good. And then obviously your digital speedometer and stuff. Fairly basic small screen, but it gets everything you need to know packed in there, and it is color, which is really cool. And then moving over to the door panel, it is hard touch plastic here, which is a little unfortunate, but I believe it's like that on all the Colorado models. And then moving down here, you'll have one touch down on all your windows, though they are not one touch up. And then in addition to having the ability to lock the rear windows, you also have the ability to lock the rear doors, which is a really nice feature if you have younger kids, especially if they're goofing off and stuff. I wish more vehicles included that button. And then down here, you'll have your headlight control and your 2- and 4-wheel drive settings, as well as your off-road mode selector, so you can tap that and you'll see that in the screen. You'll have your trailer braking control right there. And then if we move over to the infotainment screen, 8-inch infotainment. I actually really like Chevy's infotainment screen. Very quick, very responsive. It's one of the quickest. Like, look at how fast that is in the game. It's just so responsive. You'll have a built-in Wi-Fi hotspot and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto capabilities. The speakers in here are pretty good. I'd say for a mid-sized pickup truck, they're above average. But you know, not a lot of these mid-sized pickup trucks have like excellent factory speakers. But this will get you everything that you need, pretty much navigation and all that. So that's really nice to have such a spiffy screen. And then you'll have your controls for that physically. And then below that, you'll have your climate controls, which are really nice right there. I love the little screen you can see right there. You can see the air. And then if you scroll here, you can see you get a digital readout of the temperature. So that's really nice to see. And then below that, we have some serious off-road settings here. Traction control, well, I guess traction control off isn't a serious off-road setting, but there are other ones. Look, you'll have a rear locker here, a front locker, hazards, your towing, hill descent control, and the bed light button. So those are some pretty nice off-road features, mainly these two and this. Those are your off-road capability functionality stuff, so that's really nice to have. And then you'll have heated seats down here, and then below that you'll have 2 standard USBs, an auxiliary cord, and a 12-volt. And then if we move here, you'll just have a standard shifter. You do have the manual modes right there. Shifting this into reverse, you'll see you do get a backup camera with guiding lines that do move. Really like that, and it's one of the clearest screens in the industry. I think they knocked it out of the park with this one. I really got to commend Chevy for that. I do wish that there was some more trail cameras on this. Again, I know some of the competition has that, and the regular ZR2 for the 2022 model year might have that 360 camera. I'm not 100% sure because I haven't been able to review one of those yet. But regardless, still really nice. And then carrying on back down here, you'll have 2 cup holders and wireless charging, which is really nice to see. And then in here, you'll have a nice storage area. Unfortunately, no USBs or anything like that, but it is pretty deep. And then moving up here, you'll have OnStar on your mirror, and then your door controls, or your light controls, if you want to have them come on with the door or not come on at all. Those are all up there. And then you have a sunglasses holder. That's pretty much the front. Let's take a quick look at the back. If I have to be completely honest, I am very rarely impressed with the rear seats in a mid-size pickup truck with the amenities. Obviously, legroom is always going to be cramped in a mid-size, depending on your height. But, you know, there's never usually a lot of features back here, and the Colorado kind of continues that. While it is nice to have two USBs and a 12-volt back here with a little storage and an armrest, even on this top trim, there's no heated seats or anything crazy. I think it's very rare to actually see rear heated seats on a midsize. I don't know if any of the trucks in this segment do that. But, you know, it's still not terribly uncomfortable back here. You do have a manual sliding rear window, and that does have a defrost on it, which is really nice because, again, some of the competition doesn't have a defroster on the back window. I'm looking at you, Tacoma. That's really annoying, especially like today when it starts snowing and I can't see out my back window without opening the rear window. All right, soapbox moment over. But it's really nice to see that the Colorado has included that. And then you get cup holders right here with a nice little armrest, as I mentioned. It's not terrible back here. I'm 5'9", and I have a tiny bit of legroom. That's where I'd sit, probably 2 or 3 inches, and then probably 2 or 3 inches of headroom as well. It's passable back here. But again, that's pretty much what you're going to get on every mid-sized pickup truck in the segment. All right, driving the ZR2 Bison. Now, I was initially wondering, is this going to handle poorly on-road because it's more of an off-road vehicle? But actually, it's really smooth. Like, genuinely, I was shocked at how nice this rides. It is a little trucky, but it is very grippy on the road, and the handling's super nice. The steering, just great. And it eats bumps up like nothing. It's amazing. And so this genuinely did impress me with the ride quality. Now, I've done 2 other Colorados, both with this same V6. So I know that the 8-speed transmission is actually pretty good at shifting. There's not a lot of shift jumps like my Tacoma has at 6-speed. So it's nice to have that 8-speed in here. Would be nice to have a 10-speed, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. I think that this is going to probably last quite a while and hold up pretty well with long-term use. And opening it up here a little bit, little slow on the response, accelerating, but it does pick up. It does pick up. Again, with the bigger off-road tires, it's kind of something I expected. As the mid-sized truck segment blows up, especially with the off-road features, it is lacking in that area of a 360 cam, but hey, all things considered, this truck would be a seriously good off-road capable vehicle that I would absolutely support. So yeah, since I've talked about the driving dynamics of these things pretty extensively in the past, I think this is all I'm gonna say, just because I was curious to see how this drove comparatively to the regular trims with the smaller tires and stuff, and this drives really well. So overall, I'm pretty impressed with the driving dynamics of this, even though it's a more off-road capable vehicle. So with that, I think that's pretty much going to conclude the driving dynamics of this. All right, that's going to wrap up my review of this Colorado ZR2 Bison. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, if you could leave a like and subscribe, that would really help my channel out. And lastly, I'm a Christian, so if you have any prayer requests, please feel free to leave those in the comment section below. I love being able to pray for all of you guys. And I like to close on a weekly Bible verse. This week's is 1 John 4, 7, and 8. Dear friends, let us love one another, for love is from God. Everyone who loves has been born of God and knows God. Whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love. Now, a little context on that verse. That's from 1 John, which is the first of 3 epistles from John, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd John. And it's debated by scholars if this is the same John that wrote the Gospel of John. See, there's a lot of Johns in the Bible.
But regardless, the focus of 1 John is love and a relationship with God. So if you're interested in that, I would really encourage you guys to go read the epistles. I think it's a really important thing when reading scripture to get the entire context of the situation. So if you are interested in that, you can get a Bible online, or there's even the free Bible app that you can look up this verse and then the rest of 1 John. So with that, guys, I'll see you next time. Take care.